Hello everyone, and welcome to my first publishable attempt at a tutorial for an Anglo-Saxon veil. I have seen a lot of ladies with Anglo-Saxon personae trying to do veils, and a lot of times if it's not the wrapped up wimple sort of look with a woven band around the top, squishing everything together, it's something we see documented quite a lot in pictures of the 12th century, which is sort of a rectangle like this. One side down in front, the other through and around back, and that is about all. While this look is quite alright for 12th century personae, it's not really what we see in the pictures from 10th and 11th century English manuscripts, and neither is the first type I mentioned. So in my efforts to get a more historically accurate veil to really put my look together, I have come up with this. This way is also a lot more secure than the over the head, throw once over the shoulder thing. If you're working with bending over, I found that doesn't work very well. I did it myself when starting out, so I'm not trying to be too harsh to those who do. It's easy. A lot of times when you're at a living history event, you might not be doing the kind of hard work that your persona lives on. You might be, standing around socializing or watching the list field or something. But I was looking for something more historically accurate. So this is the first thing I tried. The picture in the manuscripts that most looks like is Sapientia in the Psychomachia of Prudentius, the 10th century manuscript. And when I first tried it out, I adopted from a hijab tutorial with some modifications, but I wanted to give credit where I got the original idea from. So you need this is a pashmina. It's wrinkly because wrinkles look more like the pictures. I just tied it up and threw it in my bin. It's rectangular pashmina. I use a corsage pin, put in a couple of years ago, and a couple of ordinary sewing pins. I am wearing a cap right now because I've got bangs and it holds my hair out of the way better. But this particular style I don't think needs the cap if you don't want to do that. So you start with one end quite close to your head, like this. And normally I bring it down so you can't see my cap, but my cap is newly washed and it gives the look of an extra layer, so I'm going to do you bring it back behind here, and you take the long pin and you pin it back under your bun if you've got one. We've got maybe one picture that I've seen where there's something that might be a bun bump in the back of a lady's veil. It's really hard to tell. But that's what I do. Then you bring the long end, which should be very long, around front, and a little neck showing is quite alright for the Anglo-Saxon lady. Bring it up and over the head. Sapientia has something going on up top which looks like it is done with a curved edge. I have not yet been able to experiment with that. So this is the closest I get. Then you take one of the small pins and you put it in at each temple. Or close to each temple, anyway. to secure them, and if you want, you can put a pin at the center. I sometimes do if I know I'm going to be running around a lot throughout the day. And then you can, scrunch it up, loosen it, whatever you like. This side often comes and hangs back, giving me a nice point in the back. Not sure how historically accurate that is because we don't really have pictures of people from the back of their heads. So the actual doing of that took me a couple of minutes. When I'm just throwing it on in a hurry because we have to leave the house and I'm not trying to talk while I'm doing it, it can take less than a minute. So it's pretty fast, it's pretty secure, looks a lot more like the pictures than what you usually see, and I hope the directions are easy to follow. And if any of you out there do have Anglo-Saxon personae and are trying to do more historically accurate veils, if you've got tips for me on how to do better, I would much appreciate that. For those of you watching on YouTube, I have put the picture of Sapientia in the blog post where I posted this video, so you can trot over there and look at that if you'd like to compare them side by side. Thank you for watching, and I hope you found this helpful.